Record to the cloud. Okay, so we're recording there. Let me go live on Facebook and I can change that later. One moment, everyone. Okay. All righty, Roo.
He went to Washington. He can't be in Washington. There's no beaches in Washington. Rachel told him to go to the beach in Washington, right?
Somebody's talking about Washington. I don't know who it is.
He looks like he's in Miami. That's where he's probably with Target in Miami.
Renew and reconnect. 2021, week 2. Okay, let me hit go live. And if you are coming in, if you guys will just go ahead and mute yourselves. And hi, everybody. We're going to do some things that are a little bit different than last week. There we go. We're live on Facebook. We're recording. Everything's working. It's a fantastic night. All right. I think, yeah, there we go. Okay, guys. So I just want to thank you for coming on for this week 2 of Renew and Reconnect. I know that hey, Gina. I know that your Sunday nights are special and precious, and so we're going to get right into it. But just want to thank you for being a part of this with me. This has been really fun for me to put together, so I'm really glad that you guys are all here. Let me share my screen real quick, and we will get that presentation going. Let me hit this button. There we go. All right. So again, thank you for being here. We're on week 2. If somebody can keep an eye on the chat just for now, I will ask you to unmute in a little bit, but if you can, go ahead and tell me where you are hailing from, where you're calling in from. That's always fun to find out where everybody is calling in from. But thank you for being here. This is week 2 of 5 of us all getting together and talking about this renew and reconnect mentality that we are bringing into 2021. Thank goodness we can leave 2020 behind us. And as always, we do all of these calls with massive amounts of integrity. We want to make sure that you know and you speak and realize that everything that is happening on this call is a results may vary kind of situation. So for everyone who shares their story, whether it is about their journey and what they have lost from a weight perspective or what they have earned from a money perspective, if we talk about that stays in this call, and we understand again that results may vary, and that happens with everyone. Again, we are the art of well-being. This is Isagenix, who has really done such a wonderful job of putting together this system for us. And I'm sure that if you have already had this product in your body and you are feeling the difference, I know that I am having my shake tonight. I put greens in. The art that we are feeling, that we are creating inside of our bodies is amazing. And we also know that our vision, again, for all of us here is that we all deserve to experience a healthy, joyful, and abundant life. And that is the foundation, right? That's the foundation of this group and what we do together as a team. So last week, I misspelled that. Last week, our participation standard was, let's be intentional with our time, you guys. Let's make the most of yourself, for that is all there is of you, as Ralph Waldo Emerson speaks. So I want to tell you my story about last week. And if you want to share something, feel free to unmute yourself and let us know. But I will tell you that I found out that I was positive for COVID right before I did the call with you guys last week. So I had a couple of coughs that were happening. I definitely had some stress on my mind. I knew that the fallout of what my false sense of security with a lot of testing that was negative led me to behave the week before, where I was teaching classes. I was out in front of people. My kids went to school, and I felt quite guilty about that, to be very honest. I couldn't have known. There was no way I could have known. but it took me off of my road. It took me off of my focus. And I'm just being honest with you. So I did not journal every day like I was supposed to. I did my best to get 2 shakes in a day, which was actually not hard for me to do last week. I probably didn't drink as much water as I should have, but I know that I had intentions to do that, but I still fell a little short. The good thing is that we all have the ability to get back on that wagon and take another step in another direction, or just take another step, right? So anybody else want to unmute yourself while we're on a participation standard with the wrong spelling of ourselves down at the bottom? Tell me how you did last week.
Hey, Steph, I'll
Hey,
share. How are you guys? Yeah, so I also wasn't like able to start the way I thought I would because one, we were not expecting this, but our kids are remote again. So I was like, there's no way I can get through cleanse days. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to do that. But I also finally, last night was the first time I actually slept for like 4 hours straight. I have a post nasal drip. I get it every winter. You guys probably know that. I have it every year. But yeah, it's been bad and it's cold. So I haven't worked out at all in all week. So I have been doing really well with like eating well because I really don't have much of an appetite. So that was good. That worked out for me. So I haven't eaten badly. I haven't had any alcohol. But it wasn't my start that I had envisioned. I thought I was going to cleanse and work out and all that. So I'm just giving myself grace because it was just not a good week for that, you know?
right.
But I do feel better. I actually started to take Benadryl at night last night and it actually did work. So
Oh,
I'm
that's
hoping
good.
that I'll have another night of somewhat because I wasn't sleeping at all. So it was pretty bad, pretty hard, overexhausted and then no energy because I wasn't working out. And so it wasn't the start I wanted, but I'm going to focus on the things that were good about the week and just kind of go from there.
Absolutely. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Gosh, that is really tough. And that sleep is so important. So thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else before we move on?
See, I'll share.
Okay, Paula.
I'll have to say that my week last week definitely didn't turn out as planned either. My daughter was exposed to COVID last weekend, so she ended up being remote for the latter part of this week once we actually found out. So it was basically just a lot of like unnecessary things I felt like that I had to do to like try to regroup and figure out the right mode of, you know, where were we? Who do I need to notify? Call the health department, call the pediatrician, all this other stuff that I felt like I spent the majority of my Thursday doing that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, with the launch of the collagen and everything, you know, being busy with work
Mhm.
and then trying to get in workouts and trying to get in. So I didn't, you know, get my workouts in, all of them this week. I was diligent and at least got one in at home.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my daughter is not ill. She just is quarantined.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it just, you know, I just had to give myself grace. Like you said,
Yeah.
you know, you have to keep that in your head. You have to, it has to be there. You've got to
Yeah.
have that because if not, then literally you're going to fail
Yeah.
even more, you know, and then, so that makes you feel like, okay, I'm not failing necessarily.
Right.
Just have to, you know, pull in the reins a bit more this week and get it together.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I really do. I have such a, I think that it's a unique perspective to have when COVID does hit your household, and you do have people that do have to quarantine, or you have kids that have to come home and school remotely, or any of that. It's a disruption to what we normally do. And although it's awful for so many, I will have to say, I'm going to just say this. I will say that I know that we are so healthy because of isogenics. Our bodies are able to do what they need to do because we put good nutrition in our bodies. It does not cure it. It did not, that is just not what it does. However, I know that if I wasn't putting all this nutrition in my body and in my kids' bodies, that and my husband's body, that we would be in a totally different situation. So I'm very grateful. Very, very grateful for that. Okay, let's move on. So again, Renew and Reconnect 2021. We are focusing on 3 key ingredients mind, body, and soul. Let's just move right along from here. There we go. So again, last week we talked about for our minds, and we did some creation questions for 2021. I can't believe this, but I didn't even bring my book with me. The one creation question was, what do you want to create for 2021? The second was, what energy do you want to bring with you into 2021? And the third was, what energy do you want to leave behind in 2020? And you have the opportunity to rip that part off of your page and go burn it, because ceremonially that does mean something. It does allow you to release that energy into the universe and sort of allow it to go to where it's no longer in your consciousness. So those were our creation questions. Hopefully that allowed you to focus in on 2021 and what we want to bring from an energy perspective. We did talk about daily journaling to capture our thoughts and our food habits. We talked about time blocking and how we can start with the musts and then go from there and make sure that everything gets in. Now, again, this week was totally foobarred for me because I had my musts in and then everything changed once we had to deal with everything. Time away from electronics, that was important. I did not get enough of that this week either. And then I had the suggested reading of Who Moved My Cheese, which is an amazing book. I don't know if any of you read it, but it really is quite an amazing book that helps. Now, I will say another book that is really fantastic that I think you can pull in, and another suggestion would be Resilient, which is Kathy Coover's book. It is such a beautiful story of some people in our industry that have really pushed through and become resilient. And I think that from a mindset perspective, we do have to have resilience even when we are choosing what we're going to eat every day or choosing how we are going to behave every day. We have to have that resilience. So I think that that is a good suggestion for this week. If you have it, if you don't, you can get it in your back office. Okay, so again, we talked about for body, we're talking about utilizing the isogenic system, of course. We're talking about choosing your exercise that you like. We're talking about getting your water in, right? Half of your body weight in ounces a day or more is appropriate. And, if you are like me and you don't get enough water, I just find that if I didn't in this glass, but if I cut up a lemon or I cut up a lime and I put that in, for some reason, it's the magic sauce. And so I end up drinking more water because I don't want to waste the citrus, people. So you might want to go ahead and try to put something in your water if you're finding that you can't get your water in. Right now is very important in these winter months to make sure that we're hydrated. Sunlight can be very hard to get when you are in certain parts of the country right now, but getting that vitamin D is so important. Even today, I was able to go, it was kind of chilly, but I went outside anyway and just put my face with my eyes closed up to the sun. It makes a huge difference on your vitamin D intake for the day. And again, like Gina was saying, sometimes it's really hard to get our sleep habits under control, but it's really important for us to get that sleep at night and good sleep. So whatever you need to do to help your body to do that is very important. Okay, so this week, we are doing something a little different. So last week, we started with just a solid week of shake days, right? So we had our 2 shakes a day. If you had your schedule, you were able to follow that through with the natural accelerator and with your shakes and getting a solid meal, 400 to 600 calories in either for lunch or dinner, or you can do breakfast if you want. But this week is a little bit different. We are going to choose 2 days in order to cleanse. We are going to, most people, if you are following the group, would probably choose a Wednesday and Thursday. But again, to be very vulnerable, I have to teach 3 classes on Wednesday night. And because I'm outside of my quarantine, I can go teach them, right? So 3 classes does not make for a good cleanse day for me to teach because I'm dancing a lot. So I am going to personally choose to cleanse on Thursday and Friday next week. I'm going to get through the weekend, get through the week, and then Thursday and Friday is when I'm going to cleanse. But that does not mean that's not when you have to cleanse. Use your schedule. Find out when it's good for you in your schedule to cleanse and cleanse. Okay. Again, You can use the IsaLife app on your phone in order to follow through all of these marks of when you need to cleanse, and what you need to do every day. Everybody should have almost everything that's on this list in the IsaLife app. I will say that they have added some things like the IsaBiome products. If you don't have it, you can simply swipe to the left and delete anything that is on that system that you don't have. You can also add things in if you need to on the IsaLife app to keep track of it. Okay. But we are going to choose 2 days this week to cleanse. And I know we can all do it. We can all be better this week, and we can all do it. Also, this is the updated cleanse day tracker. If you've never done a cleanse before, this is the things that Isagenix offers that are approved for you to eat on a cleanse day. Now, I will tell you that before they had this tracker, they kept saying, oh, this is cleanse day approved, and this is cleanse day approved. If you ate everything that was cleanse day approved, you would no longer be cleansing. Let's just put it that way. So make sure you utilize these credits. You can see it's got cleanse day 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will actually put the link for this in Live to Be Free so that you guys have the updated cleanse day tracker. You can see that they put the collagen elixir, they put the collagen bone broth, all of the amped products are on here to give you 2 credits, and you can choose what you want to use on those cleanse days to keep you going. Now, I will tell you, one other thing that I've noticed for me is that if I do not use those little snack wafers, I don't have as successful of a cleanse day. So I use the snack wafers and bone broth personally, because I think that those are really fantastic. I have tried it with the peanut butter bites before. I have done the Harvest Thins or the Whey Thins before, but I'm sort of an OG girl in that we only had the snack wafers when I started. So you can do that too. You do what works for you, right? But do make sure that you're going through. There's that autophagy process. There's also an app. I have never used it before, but there's an app that you can download in order to follow your fast. And it's fascinating to watch the science and watch what's happening in your body. If anybody has the link to that, let me go into the chat here. Oh yeah, sleep spray, big time, big time. I want to, let's see, if anybody has the link to that fasting, that tracker that you can use that has the little circle on it, go ahead and put it in the chat so that everybody can see it. But it is just it's a fascinating process. It's something that it just gives us the best opportunity for our bodies to do what they naturally do, which is recycle and renew those cells, right? They utilize those cells to recycle and renew. So we want to do that. And again, our soul work, right? So prayer and meditation for at least 10 minutes a day. Now, I will tell you, I was good about this last week. I did quite a lot of prayer and I did quite a lot of meditating just to calm myself and to connect myself. And it doesn't matter which way you do this. Whatever works for you is what you should do. It does not matter which religion you follow. It doesn't matter which spirituality practice you follow. Just do something over, and every single day do it. And it is best for you to do this first thing in the morning because it raises your vibration, right? It raises you up to where you can start the day in a better place. And you can, again, you can use an app to meditate. You can use your Bible to read. You can simply look at something in the room where you're at and appreciate it. If you do the very basic art of appreciating something, it raises your vibration. It's a form of meditation. And you can get downloads, you can get messages, you can get the things that you need to do just for that day if you quiet your mind enough. So for me, this took a really long time for me to understand how to quiet my mind. So just make sure that this is part of your practice for this next week, because I think that it's important when we're thinking about renewing and really reconnecting to our bodies, right? And this is week 2, so we can be better. Again, final checklist. So tonight, we are going to, if you haven't done this already, we are going to time block our week, right? We are going to look in our planners. We are going to look at our schedule, see what are the things that have to be done this week, and what are the things that we can, where can we put in our work? Where can we put in our exercise? Where can we make sure that we are doing our self-care practices? Where are we going to pray? Do we have to put prayer on the list? Or can we remember to do it before we get out of bed? But time blocking on Sunday nights is very important. Again, using the Isogenics product and system this week to do shake days, and choose 2 of those days to cleanse. Again, using the IsoLife app to keep track of your to-dos for the day is helpful. Journal your food and water intake and how you're feeling each day. I am going to personally commit right now. I'm going to declare right now that I am going to do this every single day this week. Every single day, I declare that I will journal. It is so important to get your thoughts out on paper. And again, since we're going to be cleansing, and some of you are cleansing for the first time this week, it's very important for you to mark down how you're feeling, because then you can go back to it and be like, oh, wow, it's going to be surprising to you. Prayer meditation each morning for 10 to 30 minutes. I really, really encourage you to do that. And again, use the tools. Did you sign up for the IsoBody challenge? Did you do that yet? I know my people have really utilized the IsoBody challenge really well. I mean, think about it. You could finish that. Not that we want you to wait, but you could finish that system, get $200, and you can use that to buy yourself some collagen, right? So it's a great system. It's 16 weeks. So use that IsoBody challenge to its fullest benefit. All right. Next week, dates to know. Again, I'm just going to mention it that most people like to cleanse together, and you guys can all cheer each other on this week, Wednesday and Thursday. Personally, I have to do Thursday and Friday. Choose your 2 days to cleanse. But again, next week, we will do another call, same time, same place, 7 p.m. my time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, so that we can connect and share stories and let us know how everything is going from your cleanse week. All right. Our weekly inspiration this week is, because Sebastian Pohl is actually a gentleman that wrote one of the manuals for Ayurveda. And if you know anything about Ayurvedic practices or medicine, or if you don't, a lot of the herbs and a lot of the plants and the botanicals that we use in the Isogenics products can be found in the Ayurvedic method. So I absolutely loved this, because he's talking about detoxification. So he says, because we cannot scrub our inner body, we need to learn a few skills to help us cleanse our tissues, our organs, and our mind. And this is the art of Ayurveda. And I thought that was very appropriate, considering that we are the art of wellness, well-being. So it just kind of tied everything together. So before we go to our meditation, though, I do want to stop the share and just see if there's anybody else that has anything else. Let me check the chat here real quick. I see, Molly, you want to create a business that makes you financially free. I love that. Bring the energy of greatness into 2021. That's awesome. That is a very, very bold and very declarative statement. I love it. Let's see. Being home together. I'm seeing, let's see. OG here. Yeah, girl. I know. Praying 3 times a day together as a family. Oh, I love that. Man, do I love that. I think that it's so important too. Our kids are watching us. I was talking to somebody, a new connection today, about how our children are watching us grow these businesses and share with other people, or they're watching us to just simply take care of ourselves. And it means so much to me that my kids are seeing me make this transformation at an age, especially when they can understand what's going on. But at any time, for them to see us take care of ourselves and make this intention for ourselves is so important, so important. Let's see, I think that's it. Okay, does anybody have anything else that they want to say? Is everybody able to cleanse on Wednesday or Wednesday and Thursday this week? Raise your hand if you are, or give me a thumbs up or something. Maybe? Yeah? Okay, well, try it out. Hopefully, if you're on the live too, listening to this live on our Live to Be Free page, then you can also just check and make sure, get those cleanse days in. And, you know, I know that there's a lot of folks that will do the 1 day and not the 2 days. That's fine. You can do that. Just know that you'll get a better benefit if you do go to that 2-day cleanse. It's just a better way to go through the entire process of autophagy through that 48 hours. But yeah, if you have to pick different days, pick different days. Just make it work for you this week. Okay, let me share one more time because I do want to see this beautiful woman that I've got here that I think just really encapsulates so much of what we do here and what we are talking about when it comes to our soul work and even our mind work and connecting ourselves. So if you will, please, and you don't have to have your video on during this time, that's totally fine. But what I want you to do is just take a moment and look at this picture and imagine that this is you. Imagine that you have this light inside of you and that it is in your heart space. And you can even touch your chest where your heart is so that you are recognizing from the outside in that you have this light inside of you. This light that really, really deserves to be seen by whomever comes across your path. Go ahead and close your eyes. And I want you to take a few deep breaths in and out through your nose and out your mouth. As you do this, try to breathe all the way down to your stomach. One more in and out. Excellent. Now we're going to do something a little bit different today with this meditation. I want you guys to do the cortices technique with me, which is a method of attaching from our right side and our left side of the hemispheres of the brain to reconnect those energetically so that they work really, really well and align themselves back together. Okay, so we're going to have one hand that's in a mitten and one hand that's in a glove. Doesn't matter which hand. What you're going to do is you're going to take your mitten hand and put it on the base of your head, right at the top of your neck, base of your head. And we're going to breathe 2 times deeply in and out. And what we're going to do is tap the 3 parts of our mind, right? So we have our brain, our heart, and our stomach. Right? Make sure you're breathing slowly into both of those breaths. You're going to take this hand. Oops, sorry. We go to our limbics. Take your hand and put it on the side of your head like this, where your thumb is underneath your ear, and breathe. Good. Now take that hand and move it to where that space would be just above that hand placement. And we go to mind, heart, and gut. To your limbics, breathe in and out. Up one more head space, position, I should say. And think intentionally while we're doing this. My 2 sides of my brain, each hemisphere, breathe in, is connecting as I do this practice. Move up a hand position, tap here, brain, heart, and gut. And your limbics. Some of you may have another head position. Breathe in. Gut. Last limbic. Excellent. Excellent, you guys. Wonderful. All right. So as we go through this week, please do remember as you are meditating that you do have this light inside of you. And you can share that with everyone that is in your vicinity. You can share that with everyone you come in contact with, whether you are sharing Isogenics or whether you are sharing a smile. Okay, so you guys have a beautiful week. Thank you so much for being on with me today. Make sure that we are going, let's make this a better week for everybody. Let us do everything we can to stay on track. Okay, love you all. Bye-bye.